Hafa day, everybody. The man who's joining me on the KOM couch literally needs no introduction at all because we bring him back every few weeks because he's just that good and he's got that many things to talk about. Deren Perez, American Ninja. He's better at shaking hands than I am too, apparently. But like, he wears Guam literally on his heart and his sleeve, and we are going, Deren, in great directions and everything with Ninja. And you've got some amazing announcements to make about taking kids out to compete, about where Ninja's going on a global scale, and what this means for our island.
Well, yes, there's tons of things going on in the Ninja Warrior sporting world, right? The very first thing we got right now is we're making our second trip back to Taiwan, where last year one of my students in the 15 and under took silver. So this year we're hoping to bring back more medals, myself included. I've been training hard, right? And we're going there at the end of this month. And Taiwan it's just one of those top tier competitions in the Asia Pacific, and it's actually a qualifier for one of the many various premier leagues out there. So we're super excited for this upcoming Taiwan event.
The one thing that blew me away too is if you weren't at the micro-regional mall, I mean, I know I did a video on it. It was all over social media, but the Sindalu Ninja Games were held at the mall a few weeks ago and everything. The number of young people that were involved in that, Deren, were so incredible. And I mean, it wasn't just like, okay, like jump around on the obstacle course, have fun and everything. I mean, they were competitive. You could tell it meant a lot to them. The parental support was incredible, and they were really, really into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, a good handful of them are my personal students, right? Getting out there, very proud of all my students that got out there and showcased on the podium, right? And to see their training get out there, and then just the natural talent of other athletes who we've never heard of just come up and showcase, right? It just shows you like the natural talent that we have here in Island with some training, right, from myself, and how well we can do, right? We've only been training, like my son, he got first place, and he's only been training with me actively for about 2.5, maybe 3 years. So my other students as well, right? Last year, my student Rai, he got first place. And just to kind of see that rapid increase of talent just to grow, can you imagine what it's gonna be like in 5-6 years with like everyone else when they have that training level just kind of go up?
And the one thing that you've really made a positive impact on the sports community is community itself. Because I mean, you know, you can get a lot of kids who have just God-given, you know, ability to run fast, jump high, are really, really strong and everything. You've actually really given them the concept of team.
Yeah. The ninja community is unlike any other sport. You are going head to head with your competitors, but on the course, I always teach my students, right? It's not about beating your competitors. It's about beating the course and overcoming those specific obstacles. So yes, right, helping them each other kind of build that community, like you said, right? And to grow together.
Yeah, and what is the youngest student that you have? Because I mean, when I went there and I shot some video, I mean, there was little kids. They looked to be like 8 or 9.
The youngest we actually have starts at 6 years old.
That's
the youngest we train.
First grade.
Yeah. They some of them are crazy strong. One of my females, she only started with me for, I think she's been now for like 2 or 3 months, and we got her to do her first pull-up.
Very nice. Okay, now I talked to my friends over in the gymnastics community here locally, and they said gymnastics is interesting because the older kids get, and the fact that they realize that they're doing all of these, you know, maneuvers and they're fighting gravity and everything like that. The more you become aware of it, the more hesitant you get. Is it that way for ninja too? When, you know, like you don't realize, you know, these amazing feats that you're accomplishing and everything like that. So, you know, you just attack the course.
Yeah, that's exactly true, right? I train my students to not worry about the height, the distance, right? But to kind of chip away one thing at a time. And then by the time you're done with the training cycle, you would then take a step back and realize you just flew like 10 feet across.
That's his military training right there and everything. Just do the job that's in front of you. Don't worry too much and everything. And by the way, of course, fittest Coast Guardsman in the entire Coast Guard. Again, defending champ.
Thank you.
Okay, so where are we? You know, this ties into what our friends over at United and GVB are doing now. There's a direct route to Taipei, so you're continuing to bring the Hafa Day over there.
You know, hopefully with all of our ninja endeavors, we can partner with you know, United and GVB and help bring folks over to Guam with the Sindalu Ninja Games. We have, you know, ton of athletes out there who ask me all the time, Deren, I want to do the Sindalu Ninja Games, but flights are too expensive, or I don't know what's a good time to come over. And hey, if this will help with bring what the island needs, right? The tourist folks, people to come visit us, then I might just be another venue to help with that.
Let's put a package together. I mean, the same thing exists for running. I mean, if there's a big enough market, our partners will help get it done. So we'll catch up with you later on that. All right. Now, you have had a vision for Ninja for going back years and years and years to when you started competing and everything. And you saw at that early age what the sport could become.
Absolutely.
On the biggest stage in the world, the Olympics, right?
Yes.
There is no greater honor for any athlete, I don't care what you play and everything, than to compete for country, or in our case, to compete for your island. There is a lot of work being done to make Ninja part of the Olympic experience.
There is, and it's official, right? Ninja is now a part of the 2020 Olympics. A little different than what we expected, but we can. So how it's that Olympic is not going to be a standalone sport, right? Like we wanted. It's going to be part of the modern pentathlon. So, we got to get into, it's like 5 disciplines all at once. So one athlete needs to do running, swimming, shooting, fencing, and then a ninja course on top of all of that. And then depending on how well you do in each is how many points you get for overall score. And from there, that dictates the top winners.
Okay, that is the elite of the elite, all right? I mean, decathlon no longer exists. Pentathlon is insanely hard and everything like that. So if people are thinking about training for this, and and you say it all the time, physical strength is one thing, God-given ability, but you have to have the right mindset.
I will say determination beats talent any day of the week.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah. And you're talking about training, right? Right now, obviously, a lot of folks, they see my videos that we do training in my backyard, right? We have a little home business, and I'll say I can't say too much about it yet, Jay, but stay tuned. Something big is in the works for Guam to have its very own training center.
Read between the lines, everybody. Tell me you're doing something awesome without telling me you're doing something awesome, as the TikTok kids would say. Yeah.
Right.
But this is all part of this big dream you've had. And as long as I've known you, and I've admired your work so much because you're so positive for our sports community, you're someone who, you say what you do what you say.
Oh, 1,000%. I hear that all the time. It's like, man, you said you can do this, and here you are. And like my slogan, right, for my gym, it's overcoming obstacles. I see a challenge, and I'm very competitive. I tackle it head on, right? And a lot of times folks ask, like, man, I really, like you said, admire what you do. And I get asked all the time, like, how can we get involved? Well, Olympics, sending our folks to Olympics starts with the World Championships, right? This year, we're sending folks to the World Championships in July. And this World Championships, they are affiliated with the Olympics, right? So our rankings start to build up. And in order for us to be considered for World Cups and all that, we got to get our rankings up. And how, again, going back to people can get involved, well, I've seen the Coco Run this past weekend. People love to run out there. And while Ninjas, right, yes, we got to start running for a pentathlon. We're doing actually a fundraiser as well of exactly that, a miniature version, nothing as extreme as a Coco Run, because that is cool, right? Half marathon. Good on you guys that did it. I can't say I've ever done one. So you guys are definitely better than me in that aspect, right? Cannot do that.
A rare moment of humility. He takes second place to no one, but in this case, deferring to GVB on that amazing Coco Run.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, we have a little fundraiser going on
Very cool.
at the end of the month. So you definitely can come out, meet with the athletes, and check it out.
All right, that's going to be awesome. Okay, Deren, as we wrap up and everything, the sport of ninja has also matured from like a decade ago, because we saw back then, and I remember sitting down with you on this very couch asking, what kind of athletes are getting involved. You're like, former football players, former, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, guys who like a challenge. And now it's young people, it's older people, it's men and women, and now athletes are actually taking this sport. This is the very first sport they try, which leads to bigger and better things, and other types of competition. That people start out with ninja, and then they get into basketball, then they get into paddling.
Yeah, like with ninja, it's I still see a lot of people coming from other sports into ninja, and then we see folks that just maybe they didn't fit in other sports and they found ninja, where it's like man, this is really cool, right? And now, like you said, I'm starting to see some folks who go from ninja, use that as their fundamentals, right? And build that strength, that resiliency before moving on to a different sport. So because it's been around for a while, we're starting to see folks do that. But on the flip side, they've gone on to other sports, and then like 6 years, 5 years later, or whatever, I see them coming back to ninja. It's like, I don't want to do it competitively, but I love it so much. I just want to just do it recreationally, right? And we encourage that, right? You don't need to be super competitive, right? That's not what the sport's about. So a lot of our recreational folks, they just want to come out and just have a good time, and that's really what sports is about.